Oh, you can't really see it, I guess, because the light's on. Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to take this Sunday morning to pop open a beer, light a cigarette, and say thank you very much. Now I'm going to relax for a couple of minutes because as of right now, it seems like the atmospheric defense team is kicking ass. And that even though it may bring some heavy rain to parts of North Carolina, overall, compared to a worst case scenario, we're going to get another semi-best case scenario. Now, I'm not saying drop your guard down totally. This could change at any time. But 2020 as Planetary Defense Commander has been rough. It hasn't been a ton of fun. And so now that I'm not as worried about Hurricane Arthur, I just woke up Sunday morning, checked all the models, and it looked like it's going to go up and then get kicked out. And so I wanted to take this time to just say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. That I love my job. I love being able to wake up and then make videos for you guys that I think will best keep everybody informed. I feel like the luckiest guy on the planet. The fact that I get to just wake up and say, okay, what videos do I get to make today? If you would have told 15-year-old me that when I grew up, I would get to make videos every day about the things that I'm most interested in, that would sound like a dream job. Now, granted, I live in an efficiency. My living accommodations were much nicer. I was much more social, and I had a car I loved before I became Planetary Defense Commander. But I'm not complaining. Like I said, it's, from my perspective, I mean, the fact that, though I'm not a fan of the plague, but the fact that, like, I set up Asteroid Fight Club so we could deal with economic turmoil, so we could deal with hyperinflation, so we could deal with plague, so we could deal with asteroids, so we could deal with wars, so we could deal with, you name it, hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes. You know, the fact that I'm still here 7.5 years later, and I'm still alive, I thank y'all so much. The fact that when I was still super worried about Arthur, holy wow, thank you, Flood. And cheers to free speech. And that's why, like, I thank you guys, because I'm not complaining, but I'm saying that, in my opinion, the truth community has been like a hive mind that supports a single like presidential candidate, and that they, like, everybody in the truth community is like grand solar minimum, and I've always been like, we don't know what the sun's gonna do, bro. And so the fact that I still to this day am allowed to be like a individual man with his own opinion, and I can talk about whatever I want to, or I can have my own opinion on anything, is like, that's why I woke up after I checked the hurricanes. I felt so grateful today that in all this, I'm glad I don't have to get up every day and tell you why Trump is the best president ever. I'm glad I don't have to get up every day and tell you why Trump is the worst president ever. I'm glad I don't have to get up every day and tell you that a carbon tax is going to be great. I'm glad I don't have to get up every day and tell you the grand solar minimum is coming. I'm glad that I don't have to be boxed in to, I'm glad I don't have to do makeup tutorials. Although I would like to spend more time on my own, beautify myself healthily, whatever. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. And sometimes when all the data is just coming in, like, I can only stare at the matrix, and I don't feel like I do a good enough job thanking the people who are always here, always taking care of me. And so that's why I just woke up and I was so grateful I could smoke a cigarette and have a beer. And cheers. And if you don't drink, have some grape juice. Orange juice. Orange juice is like from heaven. And so the last 12 people that contributed to me, not counting Flood, who's awesome. Just wanted to say thank you to Melissa. Thank you to Susan. Thank you to Sean. Thank you to Lynn. Thank you to Athena. Thank you to Mike. Thank you to my buddy Fitzroy. Came and was like, hey dude, I'm taking you to a Pollo Loco to get chicken. And I hadn't been out to a public establishment outside of the pizza place next to me or the convenience store in like 3 months. 4 maybe even. And then when we got in his truck, because he's like my brother. We're in a band together. Technically 2. And so we've known each other for like 20 years. So he's been taking it seriously, and I haven't taken it seriously. We wore our masks. We went into Taco Bell. Everybody was wearing masks, wearing gloves. They were super nice. I was super happy to be in Taco Bell because he said, do you want Taco Bell or El Pollo Loco? And the funny thing is there had been like 2 or 3 nights where I laid on my couch going, I miss Taco Bell. It's my favorite fast food. You're all allowed to have your own fast food opinion. And so we went, and that was great. So, and my sister contributed for the first time ever. And she wanted me to talk more about, we're going to try and do a rock and roll show in December. It will probably be live. And we're just going to try and put on a really badass rock and roll show. And so she's in support of that. And I thank my big sister. And my big sister has not caught the coronavirus. So, like, anyone in Asteroid Fight Club, I ask you guys to play the best defense. So when you guys don't get sick and die, or don't get hit by a hurricane, or don't die in a flood, I'm grateful. Although I'm sad if anybody dies in a tornado, but dang, aren't tornadoes really hard to play defense against sometimes? I mean, if you don't have a cellar, then you're pretty much just watching the news and praying, And so, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel. And I gotta, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do the Batman, Rachel. I don't know why, so Rachel. Batman says Rachel like that. Okay, Cody, Amy Jo, and Timothy. And, 2 days ago when I was freaking out about a lack of nicotine, 3 people contributed. And we're like, get smokes. And I bought 4 tall boys too, which was a total of $3. So I just thank you. 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 It's weird, bro. And can I talk about this? Like the other day, when Facebook crashed for everybody, I went live, and in 24 minutes, I got 2,400 views in 24 minutes. And then YouTube recalibrated, and now I'm back down to like 5 views a minute. Or, I'm back down to being suppressed and shadow banned, which I don't mind. Can you imagine if I was getting 1 million views? My ego might be through the roof. Like, it's enough trouble as it is. Anywho. But that, even though I do believe that I'm being shadow banned, and that those same groups I talk about are siphoning off all my views that actually come in for their group, I'm just grateful to have a YouTube channel. I'm grateful to have an iPhone that I can send you videos on. I'm grateful to have a laptop. I'm grateful that I can still do what I do. And now hopefully the energy will improve so I can start making edited videos again. To make edited videos, you need amazing focus and concentration, at least to do them the way I do. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, focus over the last 2 months has been very problematic. So I just wanted to say thank y'all, and thank you to the people who keep me alive. I have pissed off a lot of people. I know that Elon and his team and the Joe Rogan boys, when he was like, we're building our tunnel in Vegas, you can't stop us. And then I pointed out that the 6.5 earthquake happened near the tunnels and shit, and they were not happy. Thank you, Rachel. I got luck and flood. Thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. And you know, like it's, Ben and Diamond, they've been trying to get rid of me forever. So there are a lot of people, the oil industry, the music mafia, you know, the people in Silicon Valley, that when you say whatever you feel, when you are honest with people, and I feel the most important fact I've told you is the truth about oil, and that shit gets people killed, man. I mean, it's a $100 trillion secret. And so all the angels and the people and the guardians who, the watchmen who keep me safe, thank you. And you know, telling the truth is dangerous, and somehow I'm still here. And I can't believe that I'm still alive. And I'm super grateful for that. And I still have this like unbreakable optimism that like 22 through 2027 will be amazing. That like if you know, like if you ever been in like wet storm clothes that you couldn't get out of for like 2 or 3 hours, where like you get super drenched and for some reason it's cold and you can't get to a change of clothes for like 3 hours, and so like you're shivering and you think you're gonna die, and then you like get home, take off your clothes, take a shower, and then put on clean clothes, and then it feels like you're like, oh my god, this is the heavenliest feeling ever. Or more simplified, 2 days ago when I ate Taco Bell, I was like, this is the greatest Taco Bell I've ever had. The tacos were so crispy and good, the mild sauce. And so it is our struggles that make us appreciate the good times. I totally believe that. Yeah, I'm sick of sitting in this foxhole for 2 years. But I know that that will not last forever. Miller High Life. I love I know I've mentioned this 100 times, but like, I don't know. I like PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. I like High Life. You know, both sets of my grandparents and parents were from Wisconsin, although I was born in Illinois and got Texas as soon as I could. Anybody who ever gave me shit about the beer drink, I'm like, yo, dude, please shut up and back off. Like, you're gonna walk up and say, oh, you're eating Rocky Road ice cream? Rocky Road ice cream is for losers. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm eating cheddar cheese, you can be like, oh, cheddar cheese. Only weenies eat cheddar cheese. Everybody knows Swiss is for the elite. And especially if you're drinking a Rolling Rock, you know, like, don't talk crap about my beer. Anyway, I'm just trying to say that I super appreciate y'all. Because yes, I went outside of my boundaries. My drinking and smoking is way up through the last 2 months. And the iPhone was, I don't know if I didn't budget it out properly, but I love it. It's such a much better camera. Like you can see how yellow my teeth are. You can see my rosacea red patches. You can even see all the like white highlights of my hair. You can see every little tiny flaw in my face, and I love that. I'm this video saying thank you. Like you guys are incredible. Oh, another thing about the like getting 2,000 views in 24 minutes, 2,400 views. When I went to buy the iPhone, I was like, oh, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's Thor News. I'm buying it for my YouTube channel. And she was like, oh, I've heard of you. You do conspiracy videos about the Illuminati and reptilians. I was like, what? Yeah, that's not how I would describe my channel, but, and so I would say 50 to 70% of the time when I, just over the last 2 or 3 years, when I met random people in random places, and it happened to come up that I had a YouTube channel called Thor News, anywhere between 50 to 70% of every single person I ever met knew who I was. And so I'm pretty sure that my videos get out there. And I'm grateful for that. I don't give a shit about views. I don't give a shit about likes and dislikes, although they're heavily siphoning my likes now. But they take them on from other channels. And you guys, one day it may come out that like, A small group has been siphoning off everybody's YouTube channel for a long time. With like search engine mastery, there's a reason some of the observers have giant multi-million-dollar houses with black and white checkered floors that you'll never see. They've been siphoning off everybody's views for a long time. And I'm pretty sure even the chat money. That's why when I bought this phone, the only thing I did with it was I got onto Instagram and I got onto YouTube. I've given no one my phone number. And I'm pretty sure they've gotten into it probably. Anyway, I'm just saying that the last decade has been weird. And the digital bullies have been ruling the game, and they've been running the show by basically blackmailing everyone. We've been in a blackmail economy since 2008. The digital guys got dirt on everybody. And if they don't have dirt on you, they can deep fake it. And so they've been like in power, uncontested for almost like a decade. And the plague really screwed them up. And so the plague is a horrible, nasty thing, but I gotta admit, I'm grateful for it in the ways that it really has, as Nostradamus said, caused problems amongst the proudest of people. Though I would like the plague to go away. You know? But I just, thank you. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wait. I'm gonna show this is a phone except when I had to go buy a new phone. Can you see how the bottom is it's all super sketched out, and then that whole thing is black, so you can't even see. That was why when I had to go, I gotta go buy a phone. I gotta buy a phone because this phone's about to just be unusable. I used this for 2.5, 3 years. And then when I went to the store, I was gonna get the $200 Apple, and then she was like, you can get the new one and make payments, and it has the greatest cameras of all time. 3 cameras inside. And I was just like, yes! Yes! And you guys are great. Fantastic. And so if you just tune in, I want to thank the last 12 people, just in case I'd missed them. Melissa, Susan, Sean, Athena, Mike, Fitzroy, my big sister Lisa, Rachel, Cody, Amy Jo, and Timothy. Like I said, for 4 years, you guys have been there for me. Every single time, every single emergency I had. And I super duper appreciate that. And I sure wish I could have united us before 2020 so we could have avoided all this crap. But I gotta tell you, there were a lot of people who were totally dead set on uniting. And you don't know how many times, face to face, eye to eye, I had people tell me, we don't like change, and if what we're doing now is working, why would we ever stop? Why would we change that? And this may sound weird, but I love the Texas petroleum industry. I talked to a lot of people over the last decade, 2 decades. And you know, I don't know, for 5 years, even on my YouTube channel, I've been telling them that the game is going to rapidly change, that we have to be prepared for a non-petroleum centric world. And if you don't think not just West Texas Intermediate crude, but all the oil guys in the world if you think that they were big fans of that, no, dude. But I was the guy talking to them face to face going, hey man, we gotta make a change. and have them go, no, and for me to still be alive today. The Music Mafia, where I'm like, rock and roll must return. And that was a hill I have been willing to die on, though I don't want to die. That like, rock and roll has to return for the good of the people. Like, you have to give music back to the people, and our spirits will soar. And they've been like, no. They have been like, through the digital means, we now have full control over the music and what you will hear and what you won't hear and what will become a hit and won't become a hit. And that was the one I was always like, dude, if there was some Wrath of God type shit that is coming down the pipe, keeping the good music away from the 7 billion people is going to be really bad karma for you. So I still believe if we would have united and they would have given music back to the people, we would have totally avoided the plague. But we didn't. We're here now, and the next year or two may be a rough haul. For sure. And that the people who have been pushing division, blame, super crappy conspiracies are only going to get worse tenfold over the next 6 months. And some crazy shit is going to go down. That's my belief. So I ask you to stay cool, stay positive. And remember that this civilization has been standing for 5,000 years. And that, as I have always said, it is our job to keep civilization standing and working and improve it. And I thank you for giving me the ability, May 16, 2020, to say that again for the 100th time. I love you guys. I love that Arthur isn't going to take a left and smash in at a maximum. I love the atmospheric defensive team. You know, if you notice, the convection's almost just lopped on the right side. Part of the eye will be kind of naked. It never fully forms. So they seem to be doing a good job. Since the asteroid almost hit us in 2015 and blew out windows in Russia, the asteroid defense has done a good team. So now we just got to figure out how to get people to work together again. And we're going to save the post office. Oh, sidebar. The big story has been that Jeff Bezos could be America's first trillionaire. And as I've tried to point out to you guys several times, that, dude, we've had trillionaires on this planet off the books since easily 2008. That's at the very minimum, that's where I could track back to. I'm sure it goes back further. So that there are trillionaires in control. You don't know their names. They're not being posted on social media or talked about on Facebook, or CNN and Fox News aren't discussing who the richest people in the world are. They aren't giving you the actual numbers. And let me say this. That's the one reason I liked about cryptocurrency, is that technically you can track every bit to who or where that bit is. Can you imagine how much this world would change if we knew where every single dollar was? And that's been the strange thing about Americans. If there's one thing that you were always allowed to keep secret, and it's totally justified and promoted, is how much money you have. Like, it's no one's right to know how much money you have. Which is kind of weird, because like I said, there are trillionaires out there. Like, you couldn't have a 36 trillionaires if we were allowed to know they were trillionaires. You know how that works? Anywho. And so, you know, millions of people have been totally laid off. And that Wall Street is ahead of it, no matter what. They're going to... So the thing about Bezos was, like, the dude just got divorced less than a year ago. So I'm trying to work on the math of that. So did that mean that before he got divorced, he had $999 billion, and then he got dropped back down to 500 billion? And so they're saying he'll be a trillionaire. See, I don't understand that math, because the dude just got divorced. If there's one thing Eddie Murphy taught me, it's that when you get divorced, your partner gets half. And so I'm just curious how Bezos is going to be a trillionaire. Although technically, I believe he's already a trillionaire. I mean, if you look at the monetary base, the M1, the M2, and the M3 over the last 15 years, dude, they have just poured countless amounts of money and currency into the system. And if that wasn't bad enough, then they created crypto and a million other Bitcoins. So there is so much currency out there, and that same amount of currency is just being bottleneck funneled into the smallest group possible. Just like the narrative. You've got a small group trying to control everybody, and Slow Thanos is here. But I have faith in God, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit. I'm a big fan of Buddha. I think Allah and God are pretty much the same thing. Don't want to trigger anybody. Anyway, so I just want to say thank you. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. And thank y'all, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you, and thank you. I'm very grateful today. And I think we're going to make it. But the worst is not behind us. You know? Pretty sure we're totally going to botch this reopening. Pretty sure we're botching the reopening. And that, I don't know, people just get too focused on America. And that this problem is happening to every other of the 194 countries. And that every leader is handling it in a different way. And then not having a good central plan and a Bill of Rights for all people is a problem. That it would allow the most powerful people to just use and abuse millions and billions. And so we know now we have a slow to population going on, and I've said I'm pretty sure there are a couple guys out there who would happily kill 1 billion or 6 billion people just to get wherever the hell they want to be. I don't know, that thing about where Elon was talking about how you can take everybody's mind, microchip it, and then put it in the hive mind. You know? I'm like, what? How do you think Jesus feels about that? You know? The last thing I want to be is in a hive mind. So I guess that's why I'm thanking everybody, because A, I'm still alive. B, I got cigarettes and 3 beers now. This one's almost gone. Still got my YouTube channel, still got electricity, still got my health, although it needs work. And that I'm grateful we all have a chance to build a better world together. And I think a lot of us, including myself, are going to have some walls of belief come down in 2020. Because people have a hard time changing their mind on issues. Okay. Thank you. You guys are incredible. Thank you. Thank you and thank you. And special shout out to the military who keeps it together. I know the truth community likes to fearmonger about the Air Force or the Army or the Navy or the National Guard. Like, the National Guard and Walmart are going to throw everybody into FEMA camps. That's not going to happen. The military are people like us. It's like when I always discuss, one of the dumbest things in my mind is when people talk about, I'm going to trigger you here, though I love you. When people talk about they're taking away our guns. Well, in the 10 years that has been the meme, gun ownership has gone up 5 times. And that from all the police officers, And military men I have talked to in my life, pretty much all of them pointed out that to go home to home taking away people's guns, you would need 6 officers or military men to do that. And the minute the government decided to take away your guns, you would lose half the police force and half the military instantly. That if you wanted to start an instant hot civil war, the best way to do it is to take away people's guns. But it would never it's never going to happen because the military is against it, the police officers are against it. So you get people who will sell videos and sell guns but it's not true, dude. That's been one of the goofiest things. And remember the whole Obama's gonna take away your guns, and they're still selling Trump's gonna take away your guns, which is hilarious. Anywho, so definitely want to thank the military out there. I wouldn't be doing this without y'all. I want to thank the police officers and the first responders, firefighters, EMS, doctors, nurses. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for y'all. I want to thank everybody out there who is staying cool amongst all the madness. Everybody out there who pours any love or positivity back into the world. Thank you. Because, the American spirit has been taking a beating. But I think it makes strong people stronger. And it's not going to last forever. This too shall pass. And so thank y'all. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Rachel and Flood. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, my friends. And thank you, my family. And thank you to my dad and stepdad who are in heaven. And then Papa, my grandma, my grandpa, my Uncle Butch. There's so many people to thank. So many. But yeah, be safe. Stay cool. It's okay to change your mind. And try to look at everything from both sides. And that not everything is simple. Everybody stay cool. Love you guys. Thank you. God bless all of us. And may we have a Merry Christmas and a very happy 4th of July.